What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from Mikerphone Brewing, and they're out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, and this is their Smells Like Bean Spirit. So they're calling this a breakfast stout ale that is brewed with Vermont maple syrup and Tugboat Coffee Roasters, Sumatra Mandheling coffee. So basically it's an Imperial Stout that is brewed with maple syrup and coffee. Comes in at 8% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 6 weeks old, and I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to a good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx, for hooking me up with this one. I'll post a link in the description box to all the beers that Jeff hooked me up recently. Huge beer mail, awesome dude. And he was like, hey, I got my hands on a Mikerphone Brewing beer. Would you want it? And I'm like, Jeff, yes. So thank you very much, Jeff. I do appreciate it. So as far as Mikerphone goes, I have never had a beer directly from them that was brewed by them. The only beer I had that had their involvement in was a collaboration they did with Finback called Heinous, and it was this big Imperial pastry stout, and it was delicious. Still one of the best beers that I've had in 2019. I reviewed it and I was going nuts about it. So ever since I had that beer, and it's got to be like 4 or 5 months now, maybe even closer to 6, I wanted to try some Mikerphone stuff, so I'm really pumped to give this one a go. The funny thing about this is, though, apparently they do some contract brewing, because this says it's brewed and canned at Octopi Brewing in Waunakee, Wisconsin. So interesting. I've actually seen a fellow beer tuber and good friend of mine, Kyle, over at No Hype Beer Reviews, do the Imperial version of this recently, and he was really loving it. And yeah, it made me want to review this one even more. So expectations are high, and like I said, I usually don't go into reviews with any preconceived notion or whatever, but I will say that expectations are high for this beer. Now, I really like the label and the name of it. Obviously, they're going for the whole labels. Nevermind from Nirvana. You have the baby, floating in the water, and the same thing you have here, but you have a coffee bean holding maple syrup that has Mikerphone's label on it, and then smells like bean spirit, smells like teen spirit. Yeah, I like the references. I like the whole theme they're going with this one, so I can't wait to get into this one. Let's crack it open, see what we got going on. It's weird that they call this a breakfast stout ale. I mean, all stouts are ales. It's weird how they just say breakfast stout ale. I don't know. I laughed at that one. Oh my lord, this is pouring out like motor oil at 8%. Holy crap. I did not expect that. That is one of the craziest looking, in terms of just, I mean, this looks like it's motor oil, and it's 8%. That is insane to me. Holy Christ. Yeah, wow, that's one of the darkest 8% beers I've ever seen. That's pitch black. Now, there is some condensation on this. This has been out of the fridge for an hour. So we're talking, somewhere in the 60 degree rate, 60, 65, maybe even 70 at this point. It is warm out. Today was like 80, low 80s. So yeah, you're going to get some condensation. Probably not exactly room temperature. I think down here it's like low 70s, low to mid 70s. So yeah, this is probably like 5 to 10 degrees cooler. I don't know. There's condensation on it. I don't know why I'm just waffling on. Anyway, pitch black. A straight up dark brown colored head. It was about 2 fingers, really creamy looking, but has dissipated to about a half a finger. Still creamy looking. There's some bubbles. Looks a little soapy, but mostly creamy. Anyway, creamy. I spilled a little bit over here. I guess I'm gonna have to clean that up. Oh my God, what will I do? Anyway, let's get a nose. Yeah, that smells like breakfast in a glass. Yeah, tons of maple, like authentic, real maple syrup. This is not your table syrup. This is not Mrs. Buttersworth or Aunt Jemima or anything like that. You're not looking at your table syrup. You're looking at actual maple syrup here. And a lot of times when I get maple syrup in beers, and they're using real maple syrup, it's like unrefined, just you get the maple flavor, I guess, so to speak. I don't know. I keep on doing this because my tablecloth is all over the place. Anyway, you get, maple syrup, the actual characteristic and flavor without the overabundance of sweetness. This smells like full on, like authentic maple syrup you actually have that's sweet and whatnot. Yeah, this is refined. Man, it's hard to get anything past that maple syrup, but there is a really nice coffee roast of this one. Yeah, wow, this is awesome. I just want to sit here and smell this. I'm a sucker for maple beers. I'm a sucker for coconut beers, and this just has the aroma that I love. Just tons of maple syrup. There's some coffee. There's underlying like chocolate and roasty notes as well. Maybe even like a touch of vanilla too. I just want to sit here and smell this. What can I say? Maple syrup, coffee, a little bit of roasty qualities to the base beer, a little bit of chocolate. Not much else. This is all about maple syrup. If you don't like maple syrup, probably not going to like this beer. I love maple syrup. I'm probably going to dig this beer. I guess we'll see. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Jeff. That's pretty fucking delicious. Not going to lie. Oh, it's really delicious. Body on this one is like higher side of medium body, lower side of full. 8%. It is appropriate. It's bigger than 8% to me. If I was doing this blind, I'd probably say 9 to 10. it's not really that thin. I thought when you're skirting the lines with Imperial Stouts for me, like you're talking, 7.5 to like 9. More often than not, they come off as thin because I'm thinking in my mind Imperial Stout, and I'm thinking 10, 12% fucking huge, Imperial Stouts, and then I'm drinking them like, man, this is like medium body. Kind of disappointing. This is higher side of medium, lower side of full, and 8%, that's pretty impressive. It's soft, it's smooth, slightly creamy. There is carbonation there, but it's mildly carbonated. Like there's a moderate amount of carbonation. It's not overly carbonated, it's not undercarbonated. I think it's perfect. I really like the body and mouthfeel. I think it's phenomenal. The taste, I'll say this, the taste is not complex. This does not have a lot of complexity. There's not like, 6 to 8 different characters. What I'm basically getting is a ton of refined maple syrup, but authentic maple syrup. This does not give me, like I said, the fake Mrs. Butterworth, Aunt Jemima, the table syrups that you're accustomed to, the cheap table syrups. This is not that. This is real authentic maple syrup. And that hits you right up front, from the nose to the taste. It passes through the palate. There's a little bit of like slightly acidic roasted coffee that hits me midway through the palate as it passes on through. That maple syrup and coffee kind of mix gives me little desserty vibes as well. And then it finishes with a like decent roasted bitterness, I'd imagine, from the coffee. But then there's also a little bit of sweetness, and there's a touch of acidity too from the coffee itself. Underlying roasted qualities of this one, chocolate as well. But like there's 4 characters basically here. Maple syrup, coffee, a little bit of chocolate, and roasted qualities from the malt base. I'm really not getting much else, and I don't really care because this is pretty damn delicious. If you don't like maple or coffee, or both, you're probably not going to like this beer. If you like one of the two, I think you could enjoy this one. I think you have to like maple more than coffee. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of what it says it is. It's a breakfast stout ale. I mean, this is kind of like breakfast in a glass. You have the maple, you have the coffee, and you have an Imperial Stout that's fucking delicious. I really do dig this one. The lack of complexity for me, the lack of like wow factor, I feel like if the nose carried over to a T, like the richness I was getting in the nose, just the decadent dog outside, settle down dog. There's like the decadent, just nose I was getting on this one. If it carried over to the taste, this would be like, close to a 5 out of 5. As is though, can't really say much bad about this beer. It's just, for me, rating wise on the Smells Like Bean Spirit from Mikerphone, solid 4.5 out of 5. Delicious beer. I really like the whole theme they have going on with the whole Nirvana thing. Really dig that aspect of it. And what's in my glass is pretty damn delicious too. So yeah, 8%, really can't tell it's 8%. Outside of that body and mouthfeel, being bigger, there's no alcohol strictly on the palate. There's no warming in the chest. There's nothing. It hides it extremely well. So from that aspect, it's really good. And like I said, it finishes a little bit sweeter, has a decent balance, but still to the sweeter side of things. So if you don't like, I don't want to say pastry stouts, but if you don't like sweeter Imperial Stouts, probably not your jam either. But I do. I like maple syrup, I like coffee, and I like sweeter beers. So here we are. Anyway, I appreciate, Jeff, you sending this one to me. Really cool to try. My first official Mikerphone beer. And I really want to try the Imperial version now, seeing Kyle review it. And after having this, I just think it would be more my wheelhouse and to probably get close to that 4.75, 5 out of 5. Just amazing, mind-blowing, rich, decadent, just amazing beer. As is though, this is pretty damn nice. I don't know what the availability or price on this one was. So Jeff, if you want to chime in, let me know. I'd imagine this probably can't be more than like $4 a can. I'd say probably $4 a can, somewhere in that range. And availability, I don't know. I don't doubt it's, brewery only. Jeff picked it up. I don't know if he picked it up outside of, around Illinois or if it actually, they get distribution in Michigan. I have no idea. But Jeff, if you'd be kind enough to post in the comment section, let me know the price and availability, and everyone else, I'd appreciate it, good sir, as much as I appreciate you sending this one my way. So thank you to Jeff once again for hooking me up with this one. Thanks to everybody for stopping by for another beer review. Till the next one. Cheers.